Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joy at Work. It's May 6th, 2022. The year's flying by, I can't believe it. Well, I hope you're well and I hope you're staying safe. So let's jump into today's topic immediately. Today, I want to talk about anxiety and not clinical or neurotic anxiety, not the type of anxiety that requires clinical treatment. I'm not qualified to talk about that at all. I want to talk about normal anxiety, the anxiety we experience daily, the anxiety that just comes with being human. You're going to sit for a test. You're anxious. You're going for a big interview. You're anxious. You're given a project that you're not sure about how you're going to do it. You're anxious. So, this normal anxiety or existential anxiety, or even you've heard that the company is experiencing some challenges in its business model, creates anxiety, right? That's anxiety I want to focus on today. And I want to offer to you that this anxiety is actually good. It's needed. In fact, it reminds us that we're human. If we didn't experience anxiousness, then we'd have to sort of check ourselves and see what's going on. But I often encounter people who don't want to experience any anxiety at all. And I'd offer that most of the, or a lot of the resistance we see or challenges we face in the workplace are just people expressing a response to their anxiety. Okay, we want to change the way we're working. That makes people anxious because we're about to adopt a new way, leave an old way that we might be familiar with. So, to express my anxiety, I uh, put forth some resistance towards the new approach, right? So anxiety shows up in the workplace. And over the next couple of weeks, I'll be exploring how anxiety shows up, how leaders deal with their own anxiety as well, and the ramifications of this. But in this first video, I want to challenge you to really reflect on the sources of your anxiety. Like when you feel anxious or feel anxiety in the workplace, what's the source? Is it because you're being challenged? Is it because something's being introduced that you're unfamiliar with? Is it because you're going to be stretched in a way? It's important to understand the source of your anxiousness or what's making you experience some form of anxiety. Because until we take a moment to understand why we're feeling anxious, we really can't do anything about it. And the responses that I often see people have because we don't take the time to reflect on what's making us anxious is we look for somebody to take the anxiety away from us, forgetting that the anxiety is ours. It's actually personal. And while people outside of us may be able to change things, ultimately that feeling of anxiousness is something that we have to grapple with, we have to deal with. So addressing it starts with us. It might mean we need to talk to somebody to do something. That's true. But it starts with us identifying why we feel anxious and then going from there and doing something about it. It was Kierkegaard who said, and I paraphrase now, that those who've learned how to manage their anxiety or deal with anxiousness, are really those who are figuring out how to live. And I think there's a lot of truth to that on many levels. So it's not that anxiety is something that we should never experience in the workplace. In fact, I would like to offer that if you're in a challenging workplace, a workplace that really is pushing things and trying new things, there's probably a healthy amount of anxiousness. Is this going to work? What's going to be the result of this? That we should all want to experience. I think any workplace that tries to kill any form of anxiety is probably killing any form of learning, is probably shutting down any form of challenge that might exist because we just don't want to deal with this negative side, if you will, because many people view anxiety as being negative. I don't think it's negative at all. I think it's an indication that we're about to be stretched or to try something difficult or new or stepping out of our comfort zone. So when you think about joy at work, don't think that, hey, I can't experience anxiety at work because if I experience anxiety, it means I'm not having joy. No, anxiety is just a window into the fact that maybe something different or change is happening in the workplace, change to you, and understanding the source of anxiety and what you can do about it. And we'll talk about that in subsequent videos, is something that you should really embrace and look forward to. Anxiety is an indication actually of our freedom. And as I've said before here, what we should all be striving to do is embrace our freedom and act on it. So anxiety can be a very good thing. As a reminder, I'm not talking about neurotic or clinical anxiety. I'm talking about the normal anxiety we deal with every day. And if you don't know the difference, maybe you also need to go out and have somebody help you diagnose whether you're dealing with neurotic anxiety or just anxiety that comes with living. So hopefully this has helped you as you reflect on what makes you anxious in the workplace. And hopefully by identifying those things, you can continue to experience joy at work. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.